trophy of the Club World Cup, as who will be sending shockwaves through the footballing world. We've got you all the angles covered, and just when you thought it couldn't get more dramatic, enter the transfer window 2 years wide open for teams to bolster their squad as the football world is full-blown frenzy. Agents on a speed dial, managers on edge, and fans hitting refresh every 5 seconds. Some clubs are throwing the kitchen sink to sign new missing pieces to bolster their squad ahead of the 2025-2026 seasons. Others are also locking down their stars, and some, they are still losing some key players, flirting with new challenges and grabbing new opportunities. Some may say they are just going in for the money, but football and the commercial aspect also play a role. So here on the Weekend Sports Rally, we'll be separating the smoke from the fire as we've got this inside scoop, the confirmed deals of transfers, and also the hot speculations that could shake up the second half of the season. But from the transfers to not all the headlines and the breaking news, we're bringing you deep dives, tactical takes, as my guys will be joining me in the studios with all the deep analysis, the football insight that you have to know, fans' reactions, and a little healthy banter to spice things up on the Weekend Sports Rally. So our panelists are already ready. I see Marvin in the studio here with me. The mic is live, and your voice, yes, your voice matters to our listeners. So jump on our social media handles, send in your views, predictions, and wild takes, as this is your Weekend Sports Rally, your platform, and also your football page. So you can join us on Facebook, X, and also YouTube Live, ZFMGH, and the other social media handle that you can think of, just ZFMGH 101.9. Also our WhatsApp line, you can send in your messages, your takes on all our topical issues today. 0544 321 019 0544 321 That's our WhatsApp line, and your views will be heard live here on Z101.9. So this is the Weekend Sports Rally, where passion is loud and football is king, and every story matters. Yeah, so we'll be going straight into matters. We have Marvin here with me. Marvin, how are you doing?
Yeah, Jonathan, I'm doing well. Hello, good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to our listeners and everyone watching us from Facebook.
Yeah,
and everyone watching us.
They'll be bringing in their views too. And I wanted to ask this question. So how are you feeling with a new format for the Club World Cup, happening in the United States? And also, most importantly, the big game, the opener for the tournament will be between Giants here from Africa, Ali from Egypt, against Inter Miami. And in that game, it's going to be a big game because Inter Miami have some stars globally well recognized. Lionel Messi will be there, their manager Javier Mascherano, and also Luis Suarez, Alberto Diaz. The quartet from Barcelona, Jordi Alba too is there, and also
it's more or less like a Barcelona reunion.
A big game to get the Club World Cup started at the USA. So what are your thoughts about that game?
So this is more or less like a Barcelona reunion, just as I said. And well, it's excellent. Excellent that Gianni Infantino 5 years ago decided to do something nice like this, change the format. And everything that is stagnant is not nice. When you have dynamism and everything, it makes it so interesting. So you have the likes of Mamelodi Sundowns, Al Ahly, Pachuca, and the likes Oakland City contesting, and it's going to be tough and interesting because you know that for some time now European clubs have been dominating all the time, and everybody thinks that Europeans are the big guns, right? So we hope to see this evening's game. It's going to be very interesting. Just as I said, Barcelona legends, and we are more or less like uniting with them. So it's going to be very interesting. Then we see what happens. Giants of Al Ahly, the likes of Pesitao, and the likes against our very own Inter Miami. It's going to be very interesting.
Now, you call Inter Miami our very own.
Oh yeah, just because of Lionel Messi. I'm a Lionel Messi fan.
So. Well. So that's Marvin that you heard from. He'll be giving us some deep insights in the world of sports, and also some hot takes on our topical issues today on board. We have Larry Danso also in the studio. Larry, good morning.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
How are you feeling? I know you're a Liverpool fan, and you are hot because you are still waiting for the Florent Wirtz saga Is it completed yet?
Oh, it's
as a Liverpool?
completed.
So Florian Wirtz is now a
He's
Liverpool
coming, yeah.
player. Confirmed.
Confirmed, waiting
So
for medical.
how are you feeling with that news around, and also your first take on
We've
the club
got the
World Cup?
next Ballon d'Or player for years to come.
So you think Liverpool now have the next Ballon d'Or
We have
player?
the next Ballon d'Or
and that's
player.
Florian Wirtz.
That's Florian
ahead
Wirtz.
of Kylian Mbappe.
And Slot will unlock that genius in him.
And Slot will unlock Florian
He
Wirtz.
just needed that platform.
Wow. So your first take on the Club World Cup, which will be happening in the United States too?
Oh, exciting new format.
Yeah.
I mean, more games, more teams. Unfortunately, it looks like the excitement is not as much as they expected in the States. Like we here who are so, I mean, if this was in somewhere like Ghana, we would be filling the stadiums because these are teams we yearn to watch. But I think it's because of the format. When it gets to more of the knockout rounds where we get to see more competitive football, I think it's going to pick up. So, yeah, exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing the new Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And their new number 12. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Xabi Alonso taking charge of his first challenge. That will be the Club World Cup. So, listeners, you just listen to two guests in the studios today, Marvin and then Larry Danso will be helping me in the studio with some sharp break insights into the world of sport. But today, some topical issues here as playing the qualifiers for the World Cup in Europe and South America. Which one is more difficult here? By head of our first topic, I see Larry laughing, and obviously this is going to be a topical debate here in the studio. Playing the qualifiers in Europe and also in South America for the World Cup, which one is more difficult? Because considering the format and also the number of slots available for the people in CONMEBOL and also UEFA. Our listeners, you can channel in your views and also your takes. I'll be repeating the WhatsApp line for your messages at 0544 321 019. Also, you can log on to our social media handles on Facebook, ZFMGH, on YouTube, ZFMGH, to join the live feed and share your comments. And also, you can share to your favorite to listen and also join us in the show. And also, the second topical issue today will be Leroy Sané is now in Turkey. He is a Galatasaray player. The question is why the swift move to Turkey. The player is yet to hit 30 years of age, and in Europe, big stars normally move to the Turkish league if only their career is the dying embers of it. But for a player who was in the Premier League team of the season 2019-2021 under Pep Guardiola, a rising star we saw from Schalke 04, he went back to his own country, Bayern Munich, the German giant, and after just 3 seasons, Leroy Sané is now in Galatasaray. Why the swift move to Turkey? Do you think Leroy Sané is finished as the footballer, or there are still things to achieve far away in the Turkish Premier League for the German winger? And also Manchester City announces all target Ryan Ant-Nouri from Wolverhampton Wanderers is now a citizen. He's part of their squad for the Club World Cup. Ryan Cherki from Olympique Lyonnais, the most talented and the best dribbler in the French Ligue 1, the League of Talent, is now a Manchester City player. Tijani Rangers, the only midfielder, deep line midfielder to score 15 goals last season, is also with Manchester City. Alongside former Liverpool coach Pep Lijnders, joins Manchester City as Pep Guardiola's assistant there. So these players now joining Manchester City. Is it a sign of a serious club after going trophyless last season, or just a checkbook and vibes? Are Manchester City splashing money outside there, or with this players acquisition and joining their club, they are going to see results there as a serious club? And also, where are players and why big guys are still choosing Manchester United over other clubs despite no European football next season? So Manchester United won't be playing in the Champions League. Manchester United won't be playing in the Europa League, not even the Conference League. But Matthias Cunha said yes to Ruben Amorim's project. So why do you think these players are all ignoring European glory at their first season to choose Manchester United? And reportedly to Victor Gyökeres, who will be on the verge of joining Manchester United. As we'll be previewing the Club World Cup here too. And first game, Inter Miami versus Ali and Atletico de Madrid, and then Paris Saint-Germain. So Larry and then Marvin will be helping me with the details and all the insight and the analysis that you have to know on the big games. But we can't do football sport here in Ghana without talking about local football. So our first topic for today will be Golden Cakes will be facing Kumasi Asante Kotoko for that MTN FA Cup at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. So ahead of that big game, Golden Cakes FC manager Fifi Parker Hansen remains unfazed ahead of their MTN FA Cup final showdown with Asante Kotoko, as the underdog team will take on the Porcupine Warriors at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium this Sunday. Kickoff is set to be at 5 p.m. So after knocking out top-tier clubs like Karela United and Hearts of Oak, Parker Hansen told the media that they are facing another Premier League heavyweight and the former FA Cup champion, and there's no cause of fear. So Golden Cakes are saying that they are ready for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They are ready to battle it out for a slot, as they are also waiting that the winners of that Sunday's final will earn the chance to represent Ghana in the 2025-2026 CAF Confederations Cup. So Golden Cakes, if you look at their journey en route to the final of the MTN FA Cup here in Ghana, and also Kumasi Asante Kotoko en route to the final of the MTN FA Cup. Marvin, to start off with you, what are we to expect on Sunday in that final between Kotoko and Golden Cakes?
Well, big one. And then I just like the euphoria behind this game. And you know, the MTN FA Cup is always very interesting. And then the fact that a club like Golden Cakes has been able to get here is very interesting. But Jonathan, the most interesting thing is that who is going to represent us in the CAF Confederations Cup? We are just not going to the CAF Confederations Cup just for going sake, right? We need somebody who can really compete. Between Golden Cakes and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, which club looks like a strong side to compete with us? Because over the years, you realize that this CAF Confederations Cup has been represented by clubs that we just go and make up the numbers, and it's not for the making up the numbers sake, right? So between these two clubs, who's really going to represent us? That's one. Notwithstanding the fact that the game has to be a fair play game, because I personally feel like games like this, there's to me, I should understand that there should be a fair play game. Everything should go on well, and then the fact that Golden Cakes are facing Kumasi Asante Kotoko like this, they shouldn't play in a way and show any form of fear to Kwabia Kumasi Asante Kotoko, because you understand that Kotoko has not really had a good season this season, coming on the back of changing their manager, appointing a new coach, expecting to win the Premier League, and it hasn't really gone on well for them. So this more or less like going to be a trophy that they can end the season and high, and ending this to. What I'm going to say is that may the best team win. I just hope Kwabia Kumasi and Asante Kotoko wins. And then the fact that I hope that we have a very good representation in Africa. Because for 10 years now, both the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup, I think it's just Dreams FC.
Yeah, they were into the semi-final of the CAF Confederations Cup.
And they were taken out by Al Ali.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They were beaten by Zamalek.
Zamalek of they drew the first leg and lost the second leg 3-0.
Yes.
Exactly. So this final is going to be a very interesting one, and I like the fact the way the publicity online and the way people are really for this game, and I just hope this game is going to be a very tough and competitive one. Since it's a final, it should be very tough and very competitive. And to me, in the end, I just hope that Kumasi Asante Kotoko can take this one and bring some kind of happiness to the club.
Yeah, so Kumasi Asante Kotoko, to Marvin, he thinks that they have to win the MTN FA Cup on Sunday to book a slot in the CAF Confederations Cup. So, Larry, what are your takes on the game, the big game, as there are lots of things at stake? The winner will be playing and also representing Ghana. Yeah. So, if it's about continental glory, but they'll be going out there not only as Kotoko, or Golden Kicks. And also from Golden Kicks, we have to know this, that even if Golden Kicks qualify for the CAF Confederations Cup, from their manager and also their board, they will have to compete based on the support that they will get, donations and also financial support as a nation before they can compete. So they are saying that even if they beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they will need that financial support from the football governing body before they can represent us. And we all know Kotoko, they will all need the financial support. But from you, Larry, which of these clubs, and also the game in perspective on Sunday, what are we to expect?
I mean, it's the FA Cup final. It's a big game in Ghana for our football and all of that comes with it. Once again, we are in a period of this country's sports where games like this should be getting much more euphoria. Unfortunately, we are not getting it. But personally, I'm looking forward to that game. Golden Kicks ran to this final where they actually beat Atram Divisa in the semi-final. That was quite an impressive run to get to the final. Kumasi Asante Kotoko, on the other hand, need this FA Cup to salvage their season. They started quite well. Then they had a patch in the mid-season. Close to the end of the season, Coach Prosper Ogum was sacked or he resigned. However, whatever angle anyone would like to put it, and then came the veteran, right, the level-headed, who's guided them through this way to the final. For Golden Kicks, if you're a Golden Kicks fan, this is fantasy. This is fantasy football. This is dream come true to get to the finals of the FA Cup, which is played by clubs across the various divisions in Ghana, and to be facing a team as mammoth as Kumasi Asante Kotoko. If you're a fan, you're a player, you're a coach, you're excited, especially if you're a player, because you get to battle on the grounds with players who are deemed as some of the best in this country. Because if you play for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, you should be one of the best players in your position in that team. And so as a player and as a coach, it will be exciting because you like to have one over Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Kotoko, on the other hand, will need to look at this, as I said, to salvage their season, because the fans, the management would expect nothing but a trophy to, ease whatever issues that they had in the season so that they can prepare very well. I think they will actually need it so that they can prepare very well for next season, because it sets the tone, it sets the euphoria. As of now, we do not even know who will be Kumasi Asante Kotoko's coach for next season. I mean, what's his name?
Yeah, so there are
is it Karim Zito that was brought in?
So Karim Zito is now their interim manager.
He's their interim manager, exactly.
From Kotoko says that their communications lawyer Safo Duku says that they will wait after the final before they will decide either Karim Zito will be continuing his job as the manager for Kotoko, or they'll be getting a new manager.
So he's an interim manager, as well as I think the sporting director or the head of sports or technical or whatever for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. That's why I mentioned that you do not actually know what will be the direction of the team in terms of coaching. And I think they actually need this cap to take a decision. I'm not a fan of a coach being the same as a sporting director for the club. I think it's going to be, clash with whatever his duties would be. Yeah. I think when they get to win the FA Cup, I think they should stick with Coach Karim Zito. I think he will do better as a coach than leading technical decisions at Kumasi Asante Kotoko, unless they have a better replacement. But once again, as said, we need a club that can compete on the continental level. Unfortunately, I don't even think Kumasi Asante Kotoko are ready to compete at the confederation level. And that is even being said of Kotoko. The word about Golden Kicks. Wow. But I think it will be unfair to put, the winning of the trophy down to who goes to represent us at continental level. Golden Kicks have done enough to be at the final. Kotoko equally same. It's going to be a good game. For me, I'm a neutral fan. I'll just go and enjoy the football.
Yeah, so Larry is saying that he will be a neutral fan, but Marvin vows for Kumasi Asante Kotoko to win the final of the MTN FA Cup in order to make a statement on the continent in the CAF Confederations Cup 2025-2026 season. So we know our listeners to be getting their views and takes on the Golden Kings versus Kotoko final at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium Sunday, exactly 5 p.m. But Kotoko, their road to the final was there. So Kotoko are really seeking redemption, though the history and pedigree of Kotoko, as they are 9-time FA Cup winners. The last time they lifted the trophy in 2017. They are now among the most successful clubs in terms of the history of the MTN FA Cup. But this season, Kotoko failed to retain the Premier League, including a 3-1 loss to Vision FC in their final league match. Pressure on coach Karim Zito, as that was his first defeat in 5 matches after taking over the Porcupine Warriors mid-season when Prosper Nati Ogum was sacked there. So the cup form, despite Kotoko's league woes, Kotoko remained dangerous in knockout form as victories over Brecum Chelsea, True Democracy secondly 11 Wise carried Kotoko to the final. So this is the summary of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, their road to the final of the MTN FA Cup there. So there's a lot at stake. They are seeking redemption after having a season storied with bad news and also not good news in quotes for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, a giant here in the Ghana Premier League. And also the underdogs fairy tale Golden Cakes being to the final. So playing in Division 1, they are playing from the Division 1 side as Golden Cakes down big names like Kotoku Royals, Wafa, Dambot, even Accra Hearts of Folk were eliminated from the MTN FA Cup by Golden Cakes. So Larry, you have to consider that Accra Hearts of Folk were eliminated by Golden Cakes. Karela United, also side in the Premier League, was also eliminated by Golden Cakes. Atram Divisa to reach the final. So first ever final in their history. They've never reached an FA Cup final, and this is a historic maiden one for them to make history and also book a slot in the 2025-2026 CAF Confederations Cup. About fair play concerns, the club CEO Joseph Epton urged for a merited based outcome, rejecting the notion to be sidelined due to financial limitations in CAF representation. So Golden Cakes won't be backing down. If they win, their club CEO says they will be going all out, but still they will be needing that support. So confidence booster, their coach Parker Fifi Hansen and Captain Mumuni believe that the team is not intimidated, aiming to repeat the 2011 feat which Nania FC, then lower division club side, defeated Kotoko. So they are taking their inspiration from what Nania FC did in 2011 by defeating Kotoko for the MTN FA Cup. So Larry, taking into consideration their journey, they've beaten so far 7 clubs, some from the lower tier side, Atram Divisa, Dambot, True Demo, even Hearts of Folk, who are rivals to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and they were also able to beat Karela United. Don't you think Golden Cakes stand a better chance and also are highly inspired ahead of that game against Kotoko on Sunday?
Yes, I mean, I said earlier that, if you look at their journey to the final, they've had an exciting journey.
Yeah.
They play some very good football. And as I said, if you're a fan of Golden Cakes, see, this is fantasy for you. You are having one of those fantasy seasons. It's like the season when Leicester City bristled through the Premier League to win and clinch it. If you are that kind of a fan and you follow the team from the locality all the way through to this moment, they faced Premier League sides.
Yeah, Hearts of Folk.
They beat Accra Hearts of Folk. They beat Karela. And they beat Atram Divisa. And if you know Atram Divisa, that is a very top team in the Division 1. And they beat them to it. And so, and if you watch how they beat Atram Divisa, it was even quite, exciting because they came in well prepared. They came as a team. They had a plan and they stuck to it. So even if you look at their 5 games to this FA Cup final, they have a better form than Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They've won 4, lost 1. Kumasi Asante Kotoko has won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. So, form-wise, even Golden Cakes, form-wise, are up there. But these are teams at pairing or varying positions. Kotoko plays in the league the top flight league. Golden Cakes plays in the second division, and they are trying to.
But that's the surprising thing here. You see, Golden Cakes plays in the lower tier side, but they were able to eliminate Hearts of Oak.
That is it.
They were also able to eliminate Karela, who plays in the top tier.
So you don't write them off.
Yeah.
You don't write them off. That's why I was saying it will be quite unfortunate to lower it on the fact that we need a team that can compete at the continental level. So so Kotoko should obviously win. This win for Golden Cakes would climax their FA Cup journey, because it will mean they've actually beaten teams that are way better than them if you look at the log, because it would have meant they've beaten two of Ghana's topmost teams.
Karela and Hearts of Oak.
Not if I'm even talking if they do win on Sunday
against Kotoko.
It means they've beaten Kotoko and Hearts of Oak.
Yes.
And there is nothing that justifies them winning the FA Cup than beating Ghana's two top big teams in Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. In terms of history, maybe not current form. But then again, they've also beaten Karela United, who were not that good in the Premier League this season, but they are top flight league. So their journey has been exciting. Their journey has been thorough. They've been through it. They've been through the windmill. Like, they've beaten sides across board when it comes to the top flight leagues in Ghana football, and they deserve to clinch the trophy come Sunday.
So you just made your prediction over there that Kotoko versus Golden Cakes, from the lower tier side, will have to pull that surprise by beating Kumasi Asante Kotoko to win the MTN FA Cup.
It will be fun.
Is that your prediction, Larry?
Is that my prediction?
Yeah.
I think Golden Cakes wins it on penalties.
Golden Cakes are winning the final against Kotoko on penalties.
Yeah.
Wow. Marvin, your prediction for that final?
As I said, Kotoko is going to take this. I think it's, most of the times our league is not so much of goals like that. So I'll go for a 1-0. 1-0 win in the final. It will be fair, Larry. It's fair to say Kotoko 1-0 win.
It's fair to say Kotoko.
It's fair.
Will be beating Golden Cakes by 1-0.
Yes.
Golden
I go for Kotoko 1-0 win.
A Kotoko 1-0 win
exactly.
against
Golden Cakes
in the MTN FA Cup final. So from Kotoko, Larry in his submission made mention about Kotoko and Hearts of Oak being giants, and then he added it very well that historically these are the giants that we have. And talking about history, Asante Kotoko and Hearts of Oak will renew their historic rivalry in the 2025 President's Cup, scheduled for Sunday, July 6th. So the announcement was made on Thursday by the Ghana League Clubs Association, GALCA, during a press briefing. So the annual fixture is held in honor of the sitting president, with this year's edition set to celebrate President John Dramani Mahama, who is serving his second term in office. Fans will be granted free entry to the match. Larry, hope you are here. So fans will be getting free entry to the stadium to enjoying the President's Cup between Kotoko and then Hearts of Oak. And also gesture aim to encourage the strong attendance and support the domestic game, as Asante Kotoko remained the most successful club in the history of the competition, having won it 8 times, although they suffered the defeat in the 2024 edition against Ivorian giant ASEC Mimosas. So the previous year, ASEC Mimosas from Ivory Coast were the invited club outside Ghana to compete against Kotoko in the President's Cup, and then Mimosa were able to clinch it from Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Hearts of Oak also follow closely with 6 titles and will be confident heading into the clash, having beaten Kotoko in their last 2 President's Cup encounters. So July 6th, the big game between Kotoko and Hearts of Oak for the President's Cup in honor of our sitting president, John Dramani Mahama. There's a question here about the Ghana League clubs that I'll be taking from Larry. Larry, don't you think we are giving special privileges to Kotoko and Hearts of Oak with the notion of their
both teams should not have made it to the Presidential Cup. Both teams should not have made it to the Presidential Cup.
And if you read something from what Gaka saying that the president actually approved of Hearts of Oak and Kotoko,
well,
something which you and I can't confirm. And the question here is, don't you think there should be a criteria for the President's Cup? Because if the President's Cup is at aiming of growing our football domestically. The team that just won the FA Cup and the team that just won the
Premier League,
just like the English Premier League do it for the FA Cup winners,
the Community
Shield. Community Shield. So the Community
the Spanish
Shield,
Cup,
the Spanish Super Cup, is for the one who wins the league and the Copa del Rey, for them to compete as a curtain raiser to the new season.
Exactly.
Why? And what should be the measures, criteria?
Was that not the criteria? I think that was actually the criteria in some years past.
In history, Great Olympics were on the pitch, so 3 clubs clashed on the pitch because they didn't know why Kotoko and Hearts should be the only clubs playing the President's Cup. Last year we saw Hearts of Oak pulling out, and then they were supposed to invite ASEC Mimosas. And we have to accept this fact that the President's Cup comes with hefty prize money. And it comes with the money. You don't win the President's Cup just for nothing. You get money. And why is it that these are clubs that we are still talking about them holding the standard of the Ghana football up there? Meanwhile, for the past 10 years, for a decade now, Kotoko and Hearts of Oak have dropped their standard so low that we can make mention of other clubs in Ghana that are doing football so well.
It's more than a decade, and I mean.
So this is my opinion on it. Don't you think that we should have a criteria, or even give other clubs? Because to me, I think the prize money that Kotoko and Hearts of Oak will be enjoying from having a shambolic season in the Ghana Premier League, and the sad thing is that we want to have more fans in the stadium. If these clubs are still up there, if these clubs are still competing so well, even on the continent, fans will be trooping in.
We will not have to open free gates.
Even if we have to pay 200 or 300 Ghana cedis to watch the game. But because their standards are so low, now it's a free entry. Last 2 years, free entry. I was there. I could count the numbers of people in the Accra Sports Stadium just to watch the President's Cup, which was so sad. But we still made mention of their historical giants. Don't you think it is time that since they've dropped their standards, the GALCA, the Ghana League Clubs Association, will also find means, not even find means, but also do their things well to also stop giving them special privileges?
I think, the Presidential Cup, if I do remember, I think from the Mills' era down to Mahama, to Nanado, to Mahama again.
For former presidents.
Yes. I mean, it's always been about a particular criteria. I stand to be corrected, but I think there's been a criteria for the Presidential Cup. But recently, when it's a Presidential Cup and you're bringing the president around for a trophy game, you want your stadium
to be filled.
So for that reason, they tend to resort to teams that they feel have pull
their fan base.
But to be honest, in today's 2025, I don't think Accra Hearts of Oak has the pull as compared to Nations FC,
even Accra Lions.
Or Accra Lions.
Yeah, because I've been to this Accra Sports Stadium multiple times to watch Accra Lions play, and clearly you see that they have a system.
They have a fan base
mobilizing their fans to the stadium.
And I'm even looking at it. Imagine bringing BBN Gold Stars to come and play the winners of the FA Cup. Let's say Kumasi Asante Kotoko gets to win. BBN will actually bus people to Accra to watch that game, and they will bus people in numbers. You will get fans into the stadium, and they would, if you want to still make it free, you can make it free. I think what they seek to achieve is, one, the game is in Accra. Of course, they might not like to incur so much cost,
logistics
wise. If BBN wants to bus players, they might come to GALCA and say, see, we want to make sure that we are getting fans to come in for the game. So support us with this, that, and that for, to be able to come and, bring our fans in and all of that. So, of course, they don't have money. And our league does not have money, right? To the game itself, well, if the president requested to see Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak play, let's grant him that wish. That is what the GALCA president says. So, let's let's grant him that wish. However, I don't think it would have the turnout they are expecting to have. Even if you give me a paid game to go and watch at the stadium, I'm not returning until I'm not returning until there is a game where I get to hear better security protocols. My last experience, you were there, Jonathan. Yes. My last experience has scarred me. So even if it's free, thank you, but I'll sit home and watch on GTV Sports Plus or Max TV, whoever will carry the game.
Sure. So that's
or YouTube. But I mean, to the game, I mean, this time, you see, those days, when we were talking about Presidential Cup, you want to go and watch a certain Eric Gawu-Gatete.
Yeah.
You want to go and watch a certain Bernard Dombote. You want to go and watch Charles Taylor. You want to go and watch Stephen Ojo, Tiku Tiku. You want to go and watch House of Folks recent. Oh, the guy that's gone to Europe. What's his name? The guy that won the Under-20 for the Black Stars in 2021. How have I forgotten this? Barnier. You want to go and watch Afriye Barnier. You want to go and watch Fatau Alassane. Those were the times where you want to go and watch these players. Kotoko's strikers, the foreign guys who came in. What are their names? The guys that top goal scorers. Mukwala and the others. You wanted to go and watch them play. Fege. Now, who do you want to go and watch play? If you talk about Class of Football, you want to go and watch
Benjamin Asare, our new goalkeeper, the Black Stars #1.
If you want to go and watch a game between Class of Football and Kumasi Asante Kotoko today, who is that poster boy you want to go and see play? Right? Who is that poster boy? Who are you going to see? Who are you going to watch at the end of the day? There is no star poster boy that I'll say, okay, I want to pay 50 Ghana cedis. I want to pay 100 Ghana cedis. I want to see Tarek Jibril on the pitch. I want to see Bernard Dombote score a free kick goal that Ronaldo came to study the technique.
Wow.
I want to go and see Charles Taylor.
Right, so
You know, so I don't think the game carries that weight, or these two teams carry that weight it used to be. So it should have been open to other teams, but it's a president's request. So
We go with
yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan, you both Jonathan and Larry, you are both making a valid point, but I stand to disagree with both of you. So you are making an instance that if BBN Gold Stars is playing in the Independence Cup, they will bus people to come. So right now, what are we trying to address here? The stadium attendance, right? Mm-hmm. So if they bus people to come, how is that going to solve anything? Because it's only going to be people from BBN who are going to come. So right, so you want to play two people in this in a final that you get so many attendance, right? Mm-hmm. It's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Kotoko and House of Folk are always allowed to play because, and even Asec Mimosa, I think they also added just because of the same the same reason. Kotoko and House of Folk are allowed to play an Independence Cup final because
President Cup.
So President Cup final because they have history. And it is believed that they have history, that people know them, and for some time now they have been the clubs that have been doing well in Ghana. Yeah. Let me use Barcelona and Real Madrid for an example. So let's say Barcelona and Real Madrid are playing an Independence Cup, and they are not having attendance, right? So would you tell me that Lugo and Alaves will make them get attendance like that? Because it will be only Lugo fans and Alaves fans that will come.
Let me chip this in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that even fans going in to watch Kotoko and Hearts is down to the attractiveness of the club due to their current state? Currently, are these giants that you are talking about, their history, are they attractive enough to pull fans to the stadium?
Mm-hmm. I agree with the point. I'm saying that they are not so attractive to push fans to the stadium. But I'm disagreeing with his points that saying that the point he was making that if BBN Gold Stars are only going to bus their people to the stadium.
So let me bring this in. Mm-hmm. BBN Gold Stars just won the Ghana Premier League.
Yes.
So if you go to BBN, the town of BBN, the miners, is already buzzing.
Exactly.
They are up there.
Yes. They cannot bus every single person in BBN to come and fill up the stadium, the Accra Sports Stadium or Kumasi Sports Stadium or something. That's my point.
So you are talking
Kotoko
about
and
the
Haas
logistics.
can fill the stadium, but it's just because of recently their performance that they are not filling the stadium, right? The point that he's making is that they are going to bring some kind of their fans just to come and support them, but Kotoko and Haas will bring neutral people. Somebody there might be a neutral person who just wants to go and watch it because of the fact that it's Kotoko and Haas, but he's not a fan or a supporter or anything. So they are, both of them are bringing neutral people to the stadium.
So
That's the reason why.
So you are saying without Kotoko and Hearts in the President's Cup, we won't get neutral fans to
I
watch
agree.
the top clubs in Ghana.
Exactly. It's just that now that recently that they've not been performing. That's why.
Not recently. For the past 10 years, they've not been performing.
Exactly. It's recently.
10 a decade.
Exactly.
10 years is not
It's now that they've not been performing.
Do you know
that is why.
Do you know
that's
Hearts of Oak have won the league once in the past?
I understand.
Is it 20 years or 10?
My point is that it's not that they've not been performing. That now that recently that they've not been performing.
Okay.
That's why when you are playing an Independence Cup like that, it's not so attractive like that. But those days, the Independence Cup.
President Cup.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. The President's Cup used to attract so many people. So the point that he's making that Nations FC, I will not disagree. Nations FC is a very attractive club online, very, very vibrant.
So that was just an example.
Exactly, I understand, but to me, it's going to just bring some part of Nations FC together, because there are some people in Ghana that don't really know so much of Nations FC.
Wow.
Right? People who follow football like us that we are into sports know Nations FC so well. The lay person, not so much. Not everybody knows the club Nations FC, BBN Gold Stars, and all that.
So if I want to get your point very well, you are still talking about the name, the legacy, the history, and how huge Kotoko and Hearts are.
Let me reference you to something.
Wait.
Last week we were making an argument over here. No,
myself
let me reference to. We were making an argument over here that Manchester United is not an attractive club to people, and we're proving to you that even though Manchester United is not an attractive club now, it's always attractive, and it will pull a Matthias Cunha there because he knows that Manchester United have been played by Dwight York, and so many people have played Manchester United, and he'll be happy to be part of the history of Manchester United. That's the same point I'm making over here. Okay. The fact that now that they're not performing, it's always going to be a vibrant club that's going to bring people together. Right.
Last 2 years, we didn't see fans in the stadium.
That is not any point. Right now, the argument that I can bring is that the fact that they are not performing for the past 10 years, that is what is not bringing people to the stadium. But on a regular day, comparing them, putting them and other clubs there, they will pull a lot of crowd as compared to the other club. If the other clubs even bus people to the stadium.
Marvin, you just made mention on a regular day. We are on a regular day today.
That's what I'm saying. On a regular day, they are going to bring they're going to pull crowd as compared to that of another club that's performing in that season.
So what you are saying is that on the July 6th for the President's Cup,
yes,
both of us we will be at the Accra Sports Stadium to watch the President's Cup, and we will know how it feels. The electrifying atmosphere that you are anticipating and imagining. So we hope the clubs, Kotoko and Hearts, will be doing it. So since Garka says that these are the two clubs who will be participating there. But Marvin, before we move on to some transfer stories here, still around that, I want us to consider the prize money that comes with winning the President's Cup. Kotoko and Hearts won't be competing in Africa. So if it's about the Garka doing their scale of preference so well, if you have club from your league that will be competing in Africa, the club performs so well locally that they've earned a slot to hoist the flag of Ghana on the continent. Don't you think that prize money that the President's Cup, after just 90 minutes between Kotoko and Hearts, meanwhile these clubs have been enjoying this money. Hearts and Folk have won the President's Cup 6 times. Kotoko have won the President's Cup 8 times. As we speak, for the last decade, these are clubs that we don't see their input on the continent. And because of that, even our coefficient on the continent is too low that we have only one club competing in the CAF Champions League. And we have only one club competing where? In the Confederations Cup. Meanwhile, talk about Egypt, South Africa. They'll get multiple clubs, 4, 5 clubs competing. Morocco will give you Wydad Club Athletic. Raja Casablanca say that's Wydad. They'll be giving you clubs like Ali from Egypt, Pyramids, Zamalek. These are clubs who will be competing in the CAF Interclub competition. Don't you think that prize money that, I don't know, through Garka and the presidency of the state will be given to the President's Cup winner can be redirected to the clubs that are more serious in code, because these are clubs that will be participating in Africa, don't you think the prize money can be redirected to these clubs to cushion them, to support them in order to stand tall and also perform in Africa?
So right now, your point here is that the prize money should be given to the less vulnerable. Where less vulnerable is what you are determining by less vulnerable. Another lay person could also say that Hearts of Oak and Kotoko are also less vulnerable for the fact that they are not performing recently. So let's take a look at the prize money. So you give 80,000 cedis to an MTN FA Cup winner and a 50,000 Ghana cedis to a President's Cup winner. So the MTN FA Cup winner is much more. But the fact that you are saying that Golden Cakes don't perform so much, and Kotoko and Hearts have been receiving this money for some time now. That's the 50,000 for some time now. So they deserve, right? It's your opinion and what you are earning your own opinion, and it's not fact. Somebody could say that the fact that Kotoko and Hearts are not also performing for the last 10 years, as Larry said, they also deserve this kind of money. And you say you determining a team as less serious and more serious. I don't get that.
I made mention, I brought that serious here because the club which will be competing in the CAF Confederations Cup clearly shows that they were the much more resilient side locally in Ghana here. So if we are to rank clubs today in Ghana, we will put BBN Gold Stars ahead of Kotoko and Hearts because they've won the Ghana Premier League. Yes. So I made mention of that because these are clubs that will be playing in the next season's CAF Interclub competitions. So it is not about being serious. They are the top form clubs. Golden Cakes and Kotoko, any of them, the team that wins the MTN FA Cup will be competing in the CAF Confederations Cup. And these are clubs, whenever they win, they will start to be like, we need support. We need external forces to help us, aid us with some money, traveling issues, going to maybe Egypt to play early. They need flight tickets and other stuff. That's why I'm just suggesting my opinion, and I'm asking you, don't you think that would be better from the Ghana?
When you take a look at the history of the Ghana Premier League, just look at 5 years ago. Where is Mediama now? Where is Dreams FC now? The season that they perform, they don't perform the next season. The season that you could see a Golden Cake this season, you not see wherever they pass again. BBN Gold Stars, for some 2 seasons later, they might go back into the drain. And that is how it has always been. So my point, the point here I'm making is that BBN Gold Stars and taking a club like BBN Gold Stars and Golden Cakes, there's no point in you saying that somebody is less. The word you are using, like less serious, more serious, I still stand for the fact that there's an Independence Cup and there's President's Cup. I beg your pardon. I still keep saying Independence Cup. I don't know how I'm saying that. Yes. So the fact that there's a President's Cup and then the prize money for the President's Cup is 50,000. There's also prize money for take home pay for the MTN FA Cup is also 80,000. Yeah. It's actually more than that of the President's Cup. And it's not a valid point you saying that they should rather channel the money into more serious. All right, I get your point. To support more serious clubs, but this is a benevolence.
If even you don't bring the more serious, to support clubs that will be competing on the continent.
That is your opinion because once Ghana is a very benevolent country, right? Nobody is going to leave Golden Cakes if they win the CAF Confederation Cup. Just like that, because Ghana is a very, very benevolent country. Just make an issue come right now. You see people supporting them so much. You understand? The fact that Kotoko and Hearts are not performing well, it doesn't mean that you should use less. Because another lay person could also argue the fact that Kotoko and Hearts of Oak deserve to be playing in the President's Cup because they need that money more than Golden Cakes.
So yearly, they will be repeating it like Kotoko Hearts, President Cup, and Bossa.
But the point you are making is that last year they were invited as Sek Mimosa, so they have been changing it. So it's always not.
So last year there was an issue. That's why they invited Mimosa.
All right. So you are advocating for the fact that the President's Cup should be played against with smaller teams, and they should rather
smaller, but clubs that actually earn the sport, because now Kotoko and Hearts of Oak are there, and if you ask anyone, we will talk about their legacy and history.
And the club that even ends the sport, even these two clubs, you don't even get stadium attendance, you don't even get attraction that you want, and you want to also try little clubs. It's going to even be worse.
So you are trying to say that BBN Gold Stars played good football than Hearts of Oak and Kotoko in a season, and they won the Ghana Premier League. Maybe Golden Kicks beats Kotoko to win the MTN FA Cup. In Ghana here, football fans and sport fans, even our listeners who are listening to the show now, won't go to the sports stadium to watch the top 2 teams in the country at the moment because they are not so well.
I'm an Accra Folk fan. I won't go.
So let Larry come in. Larry, what?
I'm an Accra Folk fan. I'm not going to go. It's not because I don't enjoy watching my team play any longer. Yeah. It's not worth the time. You know, you go and watch a football game to be entertained. You will go and watch a football match that is poor quality. You will go and watch a match on a pitch that is poorly organized. See, there's a lot of research that needs to hit our Ghana football. So, sincerely, I don't think I'll spend time going to watch that game, even as a Hearts fan. That is why I'm saying, see, let us allow... The reason why I brought Bibini was that they just won the league.
Yes.
So their fans will be in much euphoria and expectation, excited to go and watch this game than an ordinary Accra Folk fan here in Accra. Because trust me, even if the game is played here in Accra and it's even a free game opened like that as they are going to play, they will not get. I don't even think they'll get half of the stadium.
Are they going to bring thousands? What's the stadium capacity of this? I think it's about 15,000, right? Are they going to bus 15,000 people to fill the whole stadium?
Okay. No, they won't.
So my final take on that will be, without even the fans coming in to watch the game, don't you think that why are we supposed to still continue giving prize monies to clubs that clearly they've dropped their standards? Meanwhile, they have the opportunity and the chance to be playing in the final yearly to just enjoy money. Meanwhile, we don't see what they use that money to do. That's my question. So Larry and then Marvin, you answered and then we move on to our next topic. Why are we supposed to be giving Kotoko and Hearts of Oak that special privileges to be enjoying the President's Cup prize money? Meanwhile, we don't see what they are doing.
They are not representing us. See, funny enough, these 2 clubs, I can talk about my club. My club, I'm so disappointed in how they run their football. I've said this for so many. I mean, Accra Folk is not. They are not doing football. They are, of course, they are not running the football as a business. They are doing judge and club things, family and friends relationship, and that is not how you run football in today's 2025. And I don't understand how they do their things. And it has affected their progress as a club. So I will not sit here and see clubs that are well run like Accra Lions, BBN Gold Stars, Nations FC. These are clubs that are being well run today. So they have structures in place. They have, they are running their football, communications aspect, technical teams and all of that. They are doing way better than Accra Hearts of Oak. Why are we keeping the money away? For some people are entitled to it because they are the 2 biggest historic clubs in the country. Of course, you cannot take that away from them. But other clubs also deserve the booty. They deserve the goodies. They deserve to enjoy as well. So it should not just be limited to, just Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko because they are the 2 historic teams. Oh. I do understand the euphoria and the excitement that comes with, that feeling. Oh, Accra Hearts of Oak and Kotoko are playing all over again. But let's come to reality. This is not the Accra Hearts of Oak of 2002 or 2008 or 2020. When did they last win the league? 2016.
For Samuel
Boadu.
I think 2018.
2018. Yeah. This is not that Accra Hearts of Oak team. Sure. This is not the Kumasi Asante Kotoko team of 2000, 2004, 2008 when they were facing Al Ahly and Al Ahly were scared to come to Ghana to play Kumasi Asante. Do you know what it meant? Al Ahly to come and face Kumasi Asante Kotoko in Ghana. They were scared. Casablanca, WAC. They would not come and think they will go with a win. Esperance de Tunis. No. This is no longer that Kumasi Asante Kotoko team. Let's face reality. And so let's allow other teams to also enjoy the privilege.
Okay. So allowing other teams to enjoy playing in the President Cup from Larry. As we'll be moving from the local scene and the local stories, the Club World Cup will be coming up. But before we go into that, we can do sports here without transfer stories. So the transfer window is widely open as we'll be giving our listeners some confirmed deals and also still speculation outside there as Newcastle United have stepped up their latest interest in Brighton and Hove Albion Brazilian forward João Pedro after learning the 23-year-old would be interested in signing for Eddie Howe's side. And also Arsenal have made an opening bid of 46.8 million with a possible 8.5 in add-ons to Sporting for the Swedish striker Victor Gyökeres in the record Portuguese fee there. And also Bayer offer Leverkusen are poised to make a bid for Manchester City's English attacking midfielder James McCarthy when the transfer window reopens. Then also Napoli are competing with clubs from Saudi Arabia, signing Uruguayan striker Darwin Núñez from Liverpool. And also Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce are interested in signing English right back Kyle Walker from Manchester City's following his unsuccessful loan at AC Milan. And also Everton, the Toffees, are interested in former Manchester United Fred, who is currently at Fenerbahce, while Spanish side Villarreal have a French striker Thierry Barry is also a summer transfer target for Everton in the English Premier League. And also Aston Villa at the Villa Park have made an approach to sign 19-year-old Spanish winger Jesus Rodriguez from Real Betis Balompié. And also Crystal Palace are interested in signing Millwall's 26-year-old English centre-back Japhet Tanganga, who is set to have a 1.2 million release clause available to all Premier League clubs this summer. Sunderland, Leeds United and Burnley are also keen on getting Japhet Tanganga's signature to bolster their squad ahead of next season. And also, new Tottenham manager Thomas Frank is plotting a move to bring 25-year-old Cameroonian winger, his former player from Brentford, Bryan Mbeumo, and also the DR Congo forward Jean Wissa. So Thomas Frank is actually planning on bringing the duo, which is Bryan Mbeumo and then Jean Wissa from Brentford, to join him at the Tottenham Hotspur club. And also Rangers are set to let 30-year-old Crystal Cyril Dessers join AEK Athens, with the Nigerian striker agreeing on the 30,000 a week deal with the Greek side, whilst AS Roma Claudio Ranieri, after reviving the Rome club, open talks with Brighton to sign Denmark midfielder Matt O'Reilly. And also Wolverhampton Wanderers are interested in Celta Vigo's Spanish midfielder Fer Lopez. And also after signing Leroy Sané on a free transfer, Galatasaray have met with representatives of Manchester City, Ilkay Gundogan, to bring the former German international to Turkey. And also Manchester City are set to sign French striker Mamadou Sangare, 18-year-old from PSG, on a 5-year deal, whilst Lazio are interested in signing Ruben Loftus-Cheek from AC Milan, reuniting the English midfielder with the former Chelsea manager Mauricio Sarri. Whilst Olympique de Marseille and FC Porto are among the clubs interested in signing the Swedish winger Ronny Bajragi from Copenhagen. So these are some transfer stories there, but the confirmed deals. Manchester United have Matthias Cunha for a 5-year deal. Then also Kevin De Bruyne is now in that midfield partnership with Scott McTominay and the city of Napoli. And also faraway FC Barcelona are still weighing their option for goalkeeper Joan Garcia, who is yet to be confirmed. Luis Diaz, Nico Williams, and also Rafael Leo are all on the radar for Deco, Hans-Dieter Flick, and Joan Laporta. In the English Premier League, Tijani Rangers and also Ryan Cherki. You can talk of players. These are Pep Linders also joining the assistant staff for Pep Guardiola. But the question about that was that, is it a sign of a serious club after going trophyless last season, or just a checkbook vibes? So Marvin, I'll bring you in here. Don't you think Manchester City are just splashing money all over because they went frustrated after Pep Guardiola went trophyless last season? Or do you think they are just strengthening their squad for the new season?
Well, I won't say frustrated. A whole season without getting a trophy. Prior to that, they won the Premier League 4 times in a row, just before the COVID season. And to me, I won't say they are frustrated, but it's an excellent one, revamping their squad, revamping their team just to compete next season. And you realize that this season's Premier League wasn't so competitive like that, because averagely 5 seasons ago, the Premier League winner wins the Premier League with 99 points maximum, and this season it was like 86 points. So, and you realize that Pep was the only one who had 100 points in 2018. And he's always ready to compete. So I think it's a good one. It's a very good one, that the fact that they are revamping their squad. Signing Ryan Cherki, that guy is very excellent from Lyon. And then moving on, signing Tijani Reinders, coming out the ranks of AZ Alkmaar to AC Milan. Another fine midfielder. So I think that City are ready to compete, and next season is going to be a very interesting one. It's a going to be a very interesting one. And for Liverpool, defending our title is going to be a bit tough, but let's see what happens.
Sure. So you think Liverpool will be having a run for their money, whilst Manchester City will also be coming in stronger. Chelsea will also be there. Larry, you're a Liverpool fan, and my question to you is that Liverpool are yet to confirm a signing. I think Florent Wirtz is done, right?
Jeremy
Frimpong is in. So my question to you that Trent Alexander-Arnold left Liverpool, after decades of playing for his boyhood club, and he's now a Madridista. So clearly they needed a reinforcement at the right flank, and now there's Jeremy Frimpong and Bayer for Leverkusen, and also Liverpool in for Florent Wirtz. Than deal there for Liverpool fans. Do you think these are the key players that Arne Slot needs to hold the squad and also even defend, considering the price tag of Florent Wirtz from Bayer or for Leverkusen? Because Leverkusen have a record of selling players to the English Premier League without them living up to the billing. I'll make mention of Kai Havertz. Because the Kai Havertz from Bayer for Leverkusen compared to the Kai Havertz today, clearly people will say he's not up there how people expected him to do that. Werner was from Leipzig rather. Yeah. So Bayer for Leverkusen today, they are giving you Florent Wirtz above 100 million plus add-ons. Sky reporting that it will be getting up to 116. Other sources will be saying 150, even with the price tag. Do you think Liverpool in that midfield of Szoboszlai, Mark Allister, Endo Wataru, and Ryan Gravenberch being the best young player in the season this season, and also with the addition of Florent Wirtz, can Liverpool defend their EPL title next season?
So I mean, of course there have been exits. I mean, I think the only exit has been Trent Alexander-Arnold, the guy who plotted his exit from the team 3 years ago, and he's been studying Duolingo for the past 2 years. Wherever he goes, we wish him well. We will be there to watch him. He should go. He should make sure he excels. We do not wish. We just hope he excels.
This is like an emotional Liverpool.
No, fan. I just need a 30 seconds to address that issue. So you
don't want to wish
Jonathan. No, I said I wish him well. Listen, when you've played in a team from the under 10. The under 12, the under 14, under 18, and then you were recommended by your academy coach, brought into the first team. You were given the opportunity to become a star. You do not leave your team in this manner.
Which manner?
3 years down the line, you were given a contract extension. You rejected it. See, people don't know. Trent was, in terms of the extensions that came recently to Van Dijk and Salah, Trent was given the most salary increase in terms of proposal. He rejected it. 3 years ago, maybe it was not at that level, but he rejected it. Why? Because you had plotted to go to Real Madrid for free. That is Liverpool's qualm. How can a boyhood player, who is now our vice captain, plot to leave the club for free? If you wanted to go, last season was right for you, or even this season, agree a fee. Let Liverpool sell you for 50 million, because Trent is 100 million worth player if he was going for the right value. Trent Alexander-Arnold with his numbers is 100 million worth player. Of course, it might be overpriced, but today's market is overpriced. So Trent for 60, 70 million is good. At the end of the day, we sold him for 10 million. So he's gone. He should go and enjoy his transfer. For me, I'm just disappointed that he dodged the media, gaslighted fans, and fans were going for FSG and the management thinking they were the ones all along. Trent had just decided in his heart. He could have just easily said it and we'll let you go. But I mean, anyway, I wish him all the best. I'm just saying we'll be there to watch him. So what the number 2?
I want you to touch on.
Yes, back to the Liverpool team.
Back to the Liverpool team.
Back to the Liverpool team.
How are they setting up to defend?
To be frank, I'm a bit surprised with Jeremy Frimpong's profile that Slot went for. Not that he's not a good player, but I'm surprised with the profile of player went for. Because if you looked at Slot this season, his fullbacks were not flying fullbacks. Yeah. They were more restricted.
Yeah, robotic at the back.
Exactly. But Jeremy Frimpong is a flying fullback. Yeah. So it goes to tell that maybe this time, the reason why Slot decided for that kind of defensive fullback were the abilities of his players. We know Trent defensively had issues, yes. So he needed to restrict him. Andy Robertson at the other end had lost his legs. He's not that kind of a pacey attacking fullback that we knew because he's gone. Yeah. So definitely you also needed to restrict him to get the best out of him and your team. So we needed to make, makeshifts in there where we had the likes of Szoboszlai, Maka creating so much, Salah having a lot of creativity falling on him, and Gakpo at the wings. So going in for Jeremy Frimpong, and Liverpool also get their man for the left back position in the person of Milos Kerkez. These are two players that are flying attacking fullbacks. So looking at it, I think Slot will go back to the Liverpool that flies on the wings. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at the setup and what he is doing, we have Ryan Gravenberch, Giroud in the middle there. We have Maka, you have Szoboszlai. So far, this is our 3 starting midfielders on a good day, right? Now we've brought in Florian Wirtz. I think listening to a lot of journalists and talks that's going on, Slot's proposal to Florian Wirtz was not for him to play on the left, but for him to come and occupy the number 10 role. Oh. So if you look at what Liverpool is doing, I think we are going to go a box midfield.
The 4 square.
Yes. Maka Giroud sitting in there. And then Florian Wirtz just sits at the top of that box. Then we have Salah at the right wing. And I think Salah is going to play more of a second striker role than more of a winger. Oh. Because you have Jeremy Frimpong flying in, occupying the top wings. Salah will be cutting in more of a second striker. This is why Liverpool need a striker. And I think with what Slot is doing, Liverpool will definitely buy a striker. Going into the transfer window, we knew we had issues. Trent was leaving. Left back, we knew we had lost legs. We needed either a box-to-box midfielder, right, and then a false 9, or a creative midfielder and then a striker. So immediately you've bought a creative midfielder in Florian Wirtz, you need that number 9. And I'm not surprised Liverpool is going for the likes of Hugo Ekitike. But I think we should go for Alexander Isak. Because
I want to ask this question.
Yeah.
Will you choose Hugo Ekitike ahead of Darwin Núñez?
To be honest, I've not seen Hugo play that. I've not seen him. Unfortunately, if you look at the comments and the comms, he's more of a rough Núñez, right?
A rough Núñez.
Yes, a rough Núñez. In the sense that, but however, Hugo, I think that's better when it comes to ball playing. Núñez is not that much of a boss playing.
Striker.
Exactly. Hugo gets to bring other players in, and he has age on his side. He's quite young, so he can be polished to become a clinical striker. It looks like the rumors for Hugo are way more than Isak, but I want to believe it because Liverpool wants to wrap up the Florian Wirtz saga. Because I think if it comes to Isak, Liverpool has already gone to make their inquiries about what they need to do to buy Isak. Okay. I think if you need to buy Isak, you pay more than 80 million. I think because Newcastle have qualified for European competition.
Yes. They value him around.
If they did not qualify, they would have sold him for less.
Yes.
But now that they've qualified and they are counting on him, they are coming for him, goodness, they will milk you. So I think that might be Liverpool's worry because you do not want to go and buy Florian Wirtz for 100 million I want to go and buy Alexander Isak as well for 100 million. It will bring too much scrutiny on the players. I mean, FFP wise, maybe their books might be clean, but there will be so much pressure on your boys. But I've seen a different Liverpool. I've seen a Liverpool that is spending, and it's exciting. It's exciting. That's why I'm saying sometimes Jurgen Klopp, the bashing we bashed him, he was too much of a family and friends kind of a coach. Yes. But I think Arne Slot is a ruthless coach.
And even, I think Klopp will even advise the FSG and people of Liverpool that if you don't buy for him, he will fail.
You need to spend, because look at Manchester City. I mean, just last season, before the start of last season, City had lost Alvarez.
Yeah, Julian Alvarez. I think he was a key
exactly. Kyle Walker also went
on loan.
Went out. They had injuries in their team. And look at how ruthless they've been from January in terms of transfers.
And they are signing.
They've brought in Mamouche. They've brought in Kusanov. They've brought in Nico Reese. And they brought in recently Tijani Reinders, Ryan Cherki, Edge Nori, and there are rumors that they are not done.
So I want before we wrap up the transfer stories with you, Larry, I want to ask you this question. It's a yes or no. We normally call Manchester City that they are the checkbook makers. They use money too much. Manchester City strategically, to me, mind-blowing, something that you don't expect them to do. They've been able to get Ryan Cherki and then Ait Nori, Tijani Reinders. 3 players, quality. These are guys that on any day, if they are in that Liverpool team, they will be solid starters.
I know where your question is going.
So these 3 guys came. 3 guys combined, 3 profiles, different for a manager.
Yes.
And still their price tags, 3 price tags combined will be below 130 million.
Yes, 108 million to be honest. Yes.
108 million.
Yes.
For 3 good players.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this question. Liverpool are going in for just one missing piece.
Yeah.
And that's Florian Wirtz.
Yeah.
And you and I know very well that if you put Florian Wirtz 22 years on the scale and Ryan Cherki on the scale, we can say they're on the same level.
Arguably.
Hope you get me. Because the media pool and also from via over and their projects compared to the Olympic Lyonnais project, and they are leaving Ryan Cherki because Olympic Lyon are even in financial crisis.
Okay.
While Leverkusen are not. Don't you think Liverpool are rather the checkbook makers and spending so much on players because they are paying the same amount Manchester City are paying for 3 good players for a single player?
I made this argument on my sports group on WhatsApp a few days ago. They came from my head that we are hypocrites. I said, you can call it whatever you want to call it.
And the funny thing is, you people have a certain track record that you don't want to listen to. Should I say it?
Net spend FC.
No.
Coutinho money.
No.
What is it?
Darwin Núñez is expensive than Erling Braut Haaland.
Oh yes, I mean Darwin Núñez was bought for 85 million. But at the long run, Erling Haaland
has
Erling Haaland's buying was way expensive than Darwin Núñez because of salary at the end of the day, contract wise. So I mean, that all the money went into his contract wise. He has justified it. Núñez didn't to a point. He didn't to a point. But both players, so far, Erling Haaland has a Champions League and a Premier League.
So come back to Florian Wirtz.
Núñez has a Premier League. Justified. Allow him
to Florian Wirtz.
To Florian Wirtz and then City signing. You see, City over the years. Me, I've said, other Liverpool fans will do that agenda. I will support them when they do it, but I won't do it. I think in today's age, you need to spend to make your team. So when a team is spending and you are unable to spend, you make do with what you have. The reason why Liverpool fans used to go for them was that we were not spending them. And so, I mean, when we don't spend and we still are able to win a Premier League over your team that spends, of course, we'll use that as an argument against you. But it is not a fun thing to say.
So
now we are spending. Now we are spending, right? We are not hypocrites. We knew that money needs to go into this team. The reason why we've spent on one piece, or we spent that hugely on one piece, is because if you compare this current Liverpool team to that Manchester City team, Manchester City lacks a lot. This current Liverpool team, as I said, before last season even started, was a team that Jurgen Klopp used to challenge for the league.
Yeah.
So already there were top class players in there who will go to City and command places. McAllister, when he goes to City, will wear a shirt.
Yeah.
He will play.
Yeah.
You get it? McAllister will play.
Yeah.
See, somebody will say that for McAllister to play.
Sure.
Gravenberch, fine. Maybe Gravenberch might not be able to replace Rodri, but McAllister will play.
Okay.
In this City team. In this current City team, Luis Diaz will play.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jack Grealish even gets to play. He will play ahead of them. You get it? So if you, in this current team, Virgil van Dijk will play. Mohamed Salah will play. So this is a Liverpool team that was already set. Now this Liverpool team is just missing a piece, or we are missing a few players in there, because look at the kind of season we had. We should have had at least double trophies, and that is what Arne Slot is fixing. So we just need one player. We just need that one creative, because Liverpool this season suffered against low block teams.
Yeah.
And we need that creative player. Exactly. When you have the low block, somebody who can wiggle through the middle, take 2-3 players, create spaces for the likes of Salah. He was doing it, but he was doing it a lot from the flanks.
Yeah.
And he was doing it alone. Yeah. Now, somebody said something that was sweet, and that's how I'll end this debate.
Let's go.
When you lock the middle,
okay,
Salah will create from the wings.
Okay.
When you lock the wings, Florian Wirtz will create from the middle.
Wow.
When you lock the middle, McAllister will give you that line-breaking passes.
Solid.
All we need is a number 9 to bank the goals.
Next
season, will be there. Back to back.
So Darwin Nunes will be there.
I don't have a problem.
Marvin, back to you. So we'll be going to the red side of Manchester. Manchester United have confirmed Matheus Cunha. And also Manchester United are in a bidding for Victor Gyökeres. As we speak, Bryan Mbeumo is in limbo. He's either choosing following the steps of his manager, Thomas Frank, to Tottenham Hotspur, because there are lots of European glory on the table for them. And Manchester United is out there. You think United are pushing for Mbeumo? So far, they are done with Matheus Cunha. Do you think these are the players for the project? Because compared to the system we saw Ruben Amorim execute on the page of play as Sporting CP, do you think Manchester United will be getting their transfer targets right? And with Cunha, what will be the changes to the United we saw this season?
See, I just have one question then. So what's the clear-cut vision like? What's their plan? What's their plan? Because you cannot see any clear-cut vision in what they want to do. Like you just cannot even see any insights that this is the plan that they are having this season. And funny enough, I kind of see this season like it will be more terrible than the others
next season.
Oh yes. I see this season more terrible than the others.
Manchester United in their history,
it's been a very excellent.
Last season was the worst ever. And you think the 2025-2026 season, the upcoming one will be?
You see, let me tell you why. This is Amorim's first season that he's going to really be judged.
Yeah,
he was in kind of let me put it his grace period, because it's nice that he got to the Europa League final with them, and then the fact that he was not able to get his own signing because he came to inherit from Erik ten Hag, and Ten Hag started the season, so it's very understandable for Ruben Amorim. But this season, if he doesn't really pick for him with the kind of players he signed, because I cannot see the clear-cut vision in what he wants to do and the plan of the club. And as I said, it looks more or less like it's going to be worse than the other season. Wow. But let's see, because United still looks attractive to more clubs. The fact that they are not playing any European team or anything, it doesn't really mean anything, because Manchester United has always been Manchester United. From the time that they won the Premier League from 2007, 8 and 9, their history always speaks for them. So let's see what happens. Okay. And Cunha is a very excellent signing, very, very excellent signing. It's a very good one from Atletico Madrid to Wolves. He has been very good for Wolves over the years, and he's a perfect striker replacing Zexi. But let's see what Cunha can also do.
Okay, just to touch on the United issue.
Sure.
See, I know I'll come for them. You see, I think United are struggling to attract players. I'm sorry. Matheus Cunha will not be a number 1 target for the top flight teams in England. Yes, I mean the top 3 teams. I'm sorry. The top 3 teams. Arsenal will not buy Matheus Cunha.
Yeah.
Liverpool will not buy Matheus Cunha. City will not buy Matheus Cunha. So the team that he will go to is a Tottenham or Manchester United. So fair to him. Same for Brian Mbeumo. He will not be the top flight. Same for Johan Weiser. But I think they are making good sales, right?
Players who know the league.
Players who know the league. Yeah. However, I'm looking at the profile of players they are buying, and I'm wondering if it fits Amorim's style.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Brian Mbeumo, United fans, I mean, you're listening to them. Amorim likes to play a double 10. So Cunha and Brian Mbeumo as a double 10. It means Bruno Fernandes will go and play as your number 8. Is Bruno your disciplined player to play in there? I felt Bruno should have been playing a double 10 and they should be getting a box-to-box midfielder. A ball-winning midfielder to support the likes of Ugarte or Casemiro or a ball carrier. Well, you don't have a ball carrier. But then I'm looking at their strike line and I've not heard anything exciting. Gyökeres. Fine, Gyökeres, I mean, I've seen his comms and I'm not excited. I'm sorry. Yes, well, I mean, he needs to put the ball behind, the net. But I've seen his comms and I've not really been excited by what I've seen. He's not...
You're not impressed by
progress. You know, when you see Erling Haaland, you knew, okay, you are looking at somebody who will come in.
A finisher.
I don't see that in Gyökeres. I'm sorry, maybe it's the comms that I saw. But all the chances Gyökeres put, about 15 goals that I saw, I was only about 3 or 5 of them that I was like, okay.
He's a striker.
That's a good finish. Most of them were scrappy,
tappings,
and then he finds himself there.
A tapping.
So the instincts might help him. But this is a United team that is struggling
the
to
way
create.
he play to create for you to...
So it means if you need to buy number 9 that can create out of the smallest percentage of chances in terms of XG. But let's see. To be honest, I'm an Amorim fan. I really want him to succeed.
Yeah.
So let's see.
People here wants to see Amorim to succeed. City are making, so other teams are getting their players right there. Other teams too, are pushing coaches outside there. But before we move on to the big topic today, the Club World Cup, which will be coming, reading some messages here. This on Facebook. People are commenting, and also I have this on WhatsApp here from Kelvin at Dan Suman says that Manchester United will be going trophyless next season. And also this is from Mary. Mary from Legon. Mary from Legon says that Inter Miami tonight will be losing against Nadi Al Ahly in the Club World Cup. And also we'll be getting this from Kingsford from, is this Latabio Koshi? Is it a suburb here in Accra?
Yeah, it's around Dansuman, man, probably.
Oh wow, Dansuman, Latabio Koshi. Our greetings today, the Z Weekend Sports Rally born far away there. He says that Barcelona are just joking the club with financial crisis. Either Deco will be playing as their winger next season because they don't have money. So Barca fans, I think you won't like what it's coming from Latabio Koshi. And also, this is from Christian, who is talking from this message is from Adenta. He says the African contingent in the Club World Cup will be putting up a show and also playing so well there. So these are some few messages that I have for you. But before we go to the Club World Cup, I'll be giving you all the facts and also what you have to know about the Club World Cup before we wrap up the show today. So the Club World Cup will be having some hefty prize money, participating clubs, qualification criteria, and also continents being represented, as this is based on the newly expanded 32-team format to be held in the United States. So the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, this is everything you need to know. Host country is United States. Date starting from 15th of June to July 13th, 2025. So the format having 32 teams in groups, similar to the FIFA World Cup. So the Club World Cup has the same format as the FIFA World Cup. That's the previous one. The FIFA World Cup has changed to 46 teams, which will be hosted among 3 nations there. So key fact, the first ever expanded edition of the Club World Cup with 32 teams instead of the 7 usual. So previously we were having only 7 teams from the 7 continents to battle it for the Club World Cup. But today, the new format will be having 32 teams from the same 7 continents there. And also the competition will follow a group stage and a knockout format, just like the FIFA Men's World Cup. this is a major attempt by FIFA to rival the UEFA Champions League in global appeal there. So the UEFA Champions League is only for UEFA clubs. You won't get any African team playing in the UEFA Champions League because the African club are with the CAF. African clubs are under CAF, African football here, and Asia, South America under Copa Sudamerica or Copa Libertadores for CONMEBOL. That's of Asia and Oceania. They also play their AFC Champions League. Faraway CONCACAF also have theirs. So FIFA actually bring the different formats to rival the UEFA Champions League, because if it's about FIFA Club World Cup, then clubs from different continents will be participating there. So this is the projected prize money, while FIFA has not officially confirmed that. Winner up to 50 million. 50 million. Wow, Larry, 50 million you drew. If you get that, will you still be here?
Doing what?
You asking me doing what?
Okay, maybe. Well, maybe I'll set up a local football team.
TBA.
Yeah. Start to sell players.
And the runner-up too will be getting up to 30 million. So the total prize pool estimated is 2 billion, including participation fees. So the total prize money, including participation fee, is up to 2 billion. So participation kick.
Wow.
So imagine a certain Kumasi Asante Kotoko at
go
the
for Club World Cup and make some
imagine
good
a certain
money.
Heart to Folk at the Club World Cup.
I don't understand why
they are here playing President Cup and they are happy. The clubs that you were able, you are ahead of in history.
Clubs that you were mixed with
man.
have been to the Club World Cup. Al Ahly has been to the Club World Cup for so many.
We were here when Kotoko went to play a game in USA. I think it was a friendly, and then we heard that most of their players have
did not return. They ran away.
You're not traveling to Europe, to the bigger stages.
But what happened?
They were actually
the Sudanese players. Yeah. They went there to explore.
As what happened to them? They were never.
We'll talk about that story again. So each club is expected to receive an appearance fee estimated of 5 million to 7 million. Each club. So Ali from Egypt will be getting 5 million to 7 million. Kotoko and Hearts of Oak are there fighting for President Cup trophy money. And also, so that's the system now. So each club appearance fee will be having estimated between 5 million to 7 million there. So the participating clubs expected confirm confederation. So UEFA are bringing 13 teams: the Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain from France, Inter Milan from Italy, Chelsea from England, Benfica from Portugal, Atletico de Madrid from Spain, and also Benfica will be from Austria there. From CONMEBOL South America, Palmeiras from Brazil, Flamengo from Brazil, Fluminense from Brazil, and also River Plate from there, as well as Botafogo from Brazil. CAF Africa, if you're listening, just tune in, just listening to the names, just listen to these teams, these clubs competing. There will be no Hearts, there will be no Kotoko. It's very, very, disheartening not to see clubs up there. I remember Picho Musimani saying that where is the Kotoko, where is the Hearts of Oak? These are clubs that raise the standard so high. So Ali from Egypt, Wydad Casablanca from Morocco, Esperance Sportive de Tunis from Tunisia, and also Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa will be competing at the Club World Cup. Asia too will be bringing Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia, Orowa Diamond from Japan, Al Ain from the United Arab Emirates, and also Osan Hyundai from South Korea will be there. CONCACAF North Central America, Monterrey from Mexico, Club Leon, Seattle Sounders from the Major League Soccer USA, and then Leon there from the Major League Soccer USA, and also Los Angeles Football Club will be there also from the Major League Soccer. Host will be the USA, so obviously CONCACAF is hosting this, and also Inter Miami will be there. Auckland will be from OFC Oceania. Auckland will be there, and also qualification criteria primarily based on performance in continental competitions being 2021 and 2024. So the continental performance of Barcelona was not up there. Continental performance of AC Milan was not up there. So they are not competing in the Club World Cup. I think most fans were asking, why is there no Barcelona in the Club World Cup? And we've explained that for them. So CONMEBOL, 6 clubs, Africa here 4, CAF also having 4. So this will be the Club World Cup, the newly expanded tournament there. So Larry, we'll be coming to you. We'll be going group by group. Group A. First, the big game will be kicking off tonight.
Yes,
on the 15th, rather, dawn, between Ali and then Inter Miami. They found themselves in Group A. Group A, we have FC Porto from Europe, Palmeiras from South America, Ali from Africa, and then Inter Miami from CONCACAF. I want you to give us your, predicted group, how the top 4, so top 2 will be qualifying for the next stage of the competition. Top 2 from each group will be qualifying for the quarterfinal. So Porto, Palmeiras, Ali, and then Inter Miami. What are we to expect? And don't forget, give us into perspective of the African contingent over there. Ali, what can they do in this group?
To be honest, I think for Group A, I'm rooting for Al Ahly and FC Porto. Inter Miami have injury issues, and already even with the players, even they were not that high-flying performing team. So I think I don't see them making it out of this group. It has the GOATs though, so maybe they might try to push for Inter Miami to. Of course, Messi needs to make further rounds of the competition to draw players into the. But I think Al Ahly will be an obvious choice for me to make it out of the group stage, and they've done it on countless times, making it out of the group stages. I think aside Al Ahly, I think FC Porto and Inter Miami for Group A.
Okay, FC Porto and then Inter Miami. Wait, Larry, Palmeiras will be coming there with Estevao.
Yeah,
and you think FC Porto and then Inter Miami will qualify ahead?
Don't have enough. Palmeiras has the likes of what's his name?
So
Thiago Silva. I think Thiago Silva is playing for Palmeiras.
Thiago Silva is for Fluminense.
Fluminense.
Yeah, so
but I think. See, I don't think they will have enough to beat FC Porto.
And they won't still have enough to also beat Ali.
No.
They will still have enough to beat Inter Miami.
Maybe. To be honest, Group A, I think the weakest team there is Inter Miami. I'm sorry, but looking at.
You think Messi's influence will be
be able to
get
push
them out
Inter Miami out of the group? So they will likely be. It's between FC Porto and Inter Miami to join Ali for me.
Okay, and Marvin, you'll be taking the second group, Group B, and there's a big game over there. Atletico de Madrid will be playing against Paris Saint-Germain. I want to give you people a certain scenario here before you go on that game. So Atletico de Madrid was known for a club that actually plays destructive football. We know Inter Milan, but there are differences. Inter Milan plays destructive football, but we saw in the final that if Inzaghi loses control, that's all. The club is gone. You can beat them, you can butcher them 10 goals, and they conceded 5 in the final. That's uncharacteristics of Inter Milan, something you don't normally see them do. But Atletico de Madrid are a special club to the point that Diego Pablo Simeone, when Liverpool eliminated FC Barcelona at Anfield by 4, next season Liverpool were still in fine form, but Diego Pablo Simeone were struggling in La Liga, but they were able to come to Anfield to beat Liverpool on extra time. Diego Llorente hitting a brace in that game, something that nobody
Marcos
Marcos Llorente, something that nobody thought could happen. So, Marvin, don't you think that game between the current European champions, PSG under Luis Enrique, Ousmane Dembele will be waiting for late fitness test because he got hamstring injury for France against Spain in that UEFA Nations League semi-final tie. PSG, Atletico de Madrid, and then Botafogo from Brazil. Botafogo are having some good players there, and then Seattle Sounders. So Seattle Sounders plays in the Major League Soccer. These 4 clubs. What are your takes?
Just as you said, there's one intriguing thing about Atletico Madrid. On a normal day in a season, they cannot be performing in their domestic league. But when they meet you in tournaments, maybe Champions League or external tournaments, they perform excellently well. So, to me, in this group, it's going to be a very interesting one. PSG just come on the back of winning a Champions League. There's that kind of enthusiasm moving into this tournament. To me, Atletico Madrid and PSG are going to come out of this. And I think it's very obvious. Even for a lay person, someone who doesn't watch football, just watch this group and just see Atletico Madrid and PSG coming out of the group. Not no disrespect to Seattle Sounders.
And then
just as Larry said, to me, I don't really rate the Major League Soccer so much like that.
Yeah.
So I personally don't see Seattle Sounders. Botafogo too.
So I want to add, it's not only you that you don't rate it, and the UEFA coefficients and also rankings. The teams from the Major League Soccer actually rank below. We rank the CAF teams and also the Copa Sudamerica from the CONMEBOL and also from Europe ahead of them. So if you check the group standings, they are on the bottom even before kickoff. So we have to say that you are not the only one who is not in support.
Personally, I don't even think why they are even here. They could have even replaced them with some African clubs. I don't know what they are even doing here because it's to make the thing tough, right?
So making it tough. FIFA says the criteria we are selecting from continents, so they also have their own continent. So you are saying that
you are making a point that even FIFA doesn't even rate them, right?
As in compared to UEFA clubs.
Exactly. So the fact that FIFA doesn't rate them, FIFA shouldn't even add them to even the tournament. You understand? You moving back to what I'm saying. But with Botafogo, I think Botafogo is going to be like the third force in this group. They are going to really give PSG and Atletico Madrid a bit of a run for their money. Okay. But it's going to be an excellent one because Diego Simeone targets tournaments so much and he's very good. And I remember back then, after they beat us back in 2020, right? They went on and lost to Leipzig in COVID time. Exactly. So you realize that Atletico Madrid are very good in tournaments.
So you go for Atletico de Madrid and then Paris
Saint-Germain.
Okay, yeah, Larry, back to you. Group C. Bayern Munich, Vincent Kompany is coming there with Jonathan Tah and then the other guys. Boca Juniors, they are hopefully Muller is going for his last tournament and also Jamal Musiala is back. Boca Juniors from the Argentine League, CONMEBOL is also coming. Benfica from Portugal and then Auckland from Asia. 2 teams to qualify from the group. Fast.
Bayern
Munich will be qualifying with Boca.
Yeah.
Ahead of Benfica. So Benfica won't qualify. One thing you have to know, Benfica are going there with their top scorer, Evangelos Pavlidis.
Boca Juniors.
Still Boca Juniors.
Yeah.
Okay. Group D, Chelsea.
Evangelos Pavlidis or
Evangelos.
Oh, okay.
So Group D, Chelsea, Flamingo, Esperance Sportive de Tunis from Tunisia, and then Los Angeles FC. Marvin, your 2 teams to qualify from this group. Chelsea are going there without the 130 million players. Ben Chilwell is out. Axel Disasi is out. We are talking about Kendrick Pace. They are all out. Even Petrovic says he wants to be out. Liam Delap is in. They are going there to compete.
Chelsea, Flamingo
to qualify. So
excellent.
There's Esperance Sportive de Tunis. There's one interesting thing about this African club. For them, they are going there with Yusuf Belali, Ben Ali, and Ben Hamida, their captain.
The Algerian,
yes, and they have the Brazilian Yan Sassi. They are the top-rated team in Tunisia and also one on the continent. Don't you think our African side, Esperance?
With a bit of experience over here, I don't think, because Flamingo has been playing in when the tournament was a seven tournament. They have a bit of experience.
Yes.
But ES Tunis don't really have a bit. So you could say that they are going to be the third force in this group. But
okay.
I think Chelsea and Flamingo.
Chelsea and Flamingo.
Yeah.
So Chelsea will be going there with Enzo Maresca. They are the newly crowned, Conference League. They will be doing some magic there. Flamingo will be coming with the Arrascaeta, the Uruguayan forward who scored that 2 goals against the Black Stars of Ghana. They just ended Qatar World Cup 2022. Group E, Larry, Inter Milan. Sadly for Inter Milan, they'll be going there with Christian Chivu. He was the manager for Parma after their 5-0 defeat to Paris Saint-Germain. Inzaghi saw a new challenge far away in Saudi Arabia, so he's now the manager for Saudi Arabia there. So Inter Milan, River Plate are also coming with Franco Mastantuono and also Aurora Reds from Japan and CF Monterrey. Monterrey are having the lights of Sergio Ramos at their back and some experienced players in there. 2 teams to qualify from this group, Larry. Group E.
Inter, Aurora Red.
Wait, Inter Milan and then Aurora Reds.
Yeah.
River Plate are coming as the high fort and top rated from South America.
So you see,
Aurora Reds' record is that in their last 10 matches, they've won only 4 games. Far away in Japan.
Relax.
Do you still tip Aurora Reds ahead of River Plate and even Montella.
There is a certain Roma Watanabe.
Wow.
In rural West.
And you think he can do the magic?
Who is their number 10?
Wow.
He should be your player to watch in that team.
Okay. We'll be banging on. And my big question, do you think Inter Milan have recovered from the shock in the Champions League final and to compete?
I mean, new coach, they are professionals. They should. I don't think they'll take the tournament. It's a World Cup, but I mean, I don't think they'll take. They will come in there, of course. What's his name? Chivu.
Yeah,
will be looking
Chivu.
Christian Chivu will be looking to put together his team, preparing them for next season. So it will be a preparatory tournament for them.
Okay, preparatory tournament for them. Group F, Marvin fast in a minute. Dortmund, Fluminense, Mamelodi Sundowns, and then Ulsan Hyundai. So Mamelodi Sundowns are going there as a top-rated team because they have the best goalkeeper on the continent at the moment, Ronwen Williams.
Yeah.
They have Mudau, Granit Kekena. You can talk of Teboko Mokoena. You can talk of Peter Shaulile, one of the top-rated center forwards in Africa. Ulsan Hyundai, top-rated team from Ulsan Hyundai, top-rated team from the Oceania side, Asia, and then Dortmund are also in the Dortmund.
Interestingly, 90% of Sundowns players are all in
South African national team.
Exactly.
So in a group of Dortmund, Fluminense with the experience of Thiago Silva, do you think Mamelodi Sundowns stand
I pick
a chance?
Fluminense and Mamelodi Sundowns to get out of this.
Wow.
So you think Borussia Dortmund
I
will
don't really rate Dortmund.
So Dortmund won't qualify from the
Dortmund is one team that Dortmund did something to me 2 seasons ago, and I still don't get it. Hey, that last game for Jude Bellingham just to win that, and they drew with Mainz 0-4. That last game 2 seasons ago, Bayern Munich took the league on goal difference. Bayern Munich won the game. They were leading by 2 points. Bayern Munich ended up winning the league by on goal difference. And you've added a side like this to a tournament like this, and you expect me to reach them.
So Larry, Group G will be Manchester City, Juventus, Al Ain, and then Wydad. Manchester City are coming with their new players, Tijani Rangers, Ryan Cherki, Ellen Brot Haaland is fully fit, and also Ryan and Nuri Al Ain. Wydad Casablanca from Morocco. Do you think Wydad stand a chance in this group?
They'll be the third, fourth. I think they'll have a lot to contend with in Juventus and Manchester City. So, and that is what I think will not get them to qualify to the next round. My bet is on City and Juve.
Your bet is on Manchester City and then Juventus.
Al Ain will carry this group.
Al Ain will be the last in this group. There, Al Ain have an interesting. Al Ain, Asamoah Gyan actually played there.
Yeah,
he's the top scorer for them. I don't know if that record is yet to be broken. Group H.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Asamoah Gyan. Our own Asamoah Gyan.
Our own Asamoah Gyan. When he went to Saudi,
if you go to Al Ain, he scored over 100 goals for them in 3 seasons.
But when you go to UAE, you mention Asamoah Gyan because of what he did there. He's well known. Yeah. Yeah. They did go and mention Ghana, they'll mention Asamoah Gyan.
You just say baby jet and you see the Ain Muslims saying.
That's why I tell you that baby jet. Baby jet.
Our time is fast spent. But Group H here for Larry, not Marvin. Salzburg.
Real Madrid and Al Hilal.
Pachuca and then Al Hilal.
Al Hilal and Real Madrid.
So Al Hilal have a force from Europe as they are having a new manager who faced the difficult final against Luis Enrique and the person of Inzaghi, and also Cancelo, Kalidou Koulibaly, Yacine Bonu, Mitrovic. These are guys who will be playing for Al Hilal. So Real Madrid
will be nervous.
And so Real Madrid will have their new manager Xabi Alonso in that tournament. Jude Bellingham fully fit. Kylian Mbappe as the top scorer in Europe, with a Pichichi also going for this tournament. So the Club World Cup will be that big game. Larry, before we wrap up this, your last words on what to expect from the Club World Cup, and also what do you think, and send a message to our Kotoko and then Hearts of Oak here in Ghana that their fellows are competing in the Club World Cup. What do you think they can do to get that?
You want them to come and take Larry offset?
Jonathan, I mean, an exciting assembly of top flight teams across the world, the globe. Exciting football. We see beautiful talent. The only worry is if you're in somewhere like Ghana, you get to have to watch some of the games at dawn and some in the evening. But some of the matches will be worth staying up at dawn to watch. So, yeah. And to Accra Asofo and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, shame on you guys. A very big shame on you guys.
I didn't say
you
this.
should be here.
I didn't say this.
You should be making us proud. See, I should be sitting up at. See, imagine Accra Asofo playing
Real Madrid
at 2 a.m. The whole Ghana will be up. See, sports will not close.
You know,
bars will be open.
A bird just whispered into my ear that even the witches of Africa will stop working and watch.
They will fly and be in the air watching. My goodness! Imagine Kumasi Asante Kotoko playing Bayern Munich,
PSG.
Come on, or Inter Miami. Inter Miami and seeing Ghanaian fans go troop to the pitch to see Messi play against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. You should be putting us in this kind of position. Shame on the two of you again.
They will be playing President Cup. We'll be at the Accra Sports Studio. Marvin, your take on the Club World Cup and also
the format is very interesting and it's a very nice one, and football fans, we have another thing to watch and follow again. And just as I said, it will be interesting for our Ghanaian clubs to also be. But what do you see? It's going to take over 50 years for us to also get.
50 quite all their charge.
So the criteria is within 4 years. So in the next 4 years, Hearts and Kotoko
within
should make an impact.
The next 4 years, we will not be there.
So Hearts of Oak.
Within the next 4 years, we will not be there. Within the next 8 years, we will not be there.
Okay.
In the next 12 years,
just in a
maybe.
minute, Larry, a team to win the Club World Cup.
Real Madrid.
Marvin.
Real Madrid.
Wow, I'll be going for Paris Saint-Germain.
Yes, thank you.
I'll be going for Paris Saint-Germain. So that's all here on the Weekend Sports Rally with me, Jonathan Binzoa, the Sports Zlatan, sitting as the host today, not the regular host. You know, our main boss is out there. He'll be giving you all the update that you have to know. Lookman Evergreen Moment is that man. We'll be giving you all the details that you have to know. I was sitting in for him today, joined in the studios by Larry Danso and then Marvin. So all your sporting details and everything, you can still log on to follow Z101.9 on your favorite social media handles. Any of them that you can think of is just Z101.9, ZFM GH on Facebook, IG, and also on Instagram, YouTube. You can catch up. I'll be wrapping up the show with this quote from Pele. Says, success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. So if you are listening to us in the Weekend Sports Rally today, it's a bye-bye for now. Stay tuned to Z.